Welcome to the Peppy channel, your Heartflix. I'm Peppy, your life coach. I'm on a quest to help you create better habits through small and simple steps that you can apply easily into your daily life. One of the most challenging decisions in life regarding to relationships, it's when to call it quits. How do you know that? It's never easy to admit things aren't working, especially if you have invested time, energy, and emotions into it. So imagine, how can you finish a marriage after 13 years? How do you know you haven't been there for too long? Yeah, that's my story. 13 years of marriage. And I have the feeling that I stayed too long. But I have some tips for you so you don't do the same mistake I did. Points to know it's over. You've lost yourself. You're not growing anymore. You're constantly unhappy. You've tried everything and nothing works. It's attachment, not love. Staying too long, it's bad for your mental health. Staying too long can bring you up to a depression. It can make you gray and, very, very unhappy. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I was emotionally drained, and we were both clinging to each other, and none of us kind of knew how to, cut things off. So, how do you know when to call it quits? Look for the signs. Sign number 1, you lost yourself. If a relationship is a healthy one, both parties have their own interests, their own hobbies, and they are pursuing them healthily. They also have their own goals and they are sharing them. But none of the parties is imposing onto the other one things that they love. They are also listening to each other about, what happened during the day. What do they like? If you have started or are starting to please your partner for them to, see you, that's a very, very, very big red flag. If you have lost sight of who you are, if you have changed your hairstyle, your fashion, your hobbies, your friends, if you've been cut off of your old relationships, think for a second, what's going on in there? Losing yourself is a massive red flag that tells you you've stayed in a relationship for far too long. Sign number 2, you're not growing anymore. In a relationship, you are supposed to learn from each other and growing together. It doesn't mean that you have to grow in the same field or with the same things, but you're sharing and learning and growing with each other. But if you find yourself stuck, if you stop doing what you like to please your partner, if you stop with your hobbies to take his, it's not a good thing. It means that you might be trying to please him for him to give you time or her. Also, look very closely on how your partner is behaving. Are they supporting your choices? Are they supporting your hobbies? Are they supporting your growth? Are they supporting your career? Are they supporting you? If not, another red flag. Your partner should support your growth, not hinder it. Sign number 3, you're constantly unhappy. Okay, in relationships, you have ups and downs. That's okay. But if you're constantly stressing, if you're constantly worried about what you're doing is correct or not, if you're constantly thinking that you're doing mistakes, if you're constantly, having feedback from your partner like, oh, you did it again, and it's bad feedback from something that shouldn't be bad feedback, that's another massive red flag. Relationships that are healthy should bring you joy. Again, there are ups and there are downs, but overall, they should make you happy. If you feel stressed, anxious, and you fear the reaction of your partner, it means that you've stayed too long. Number 3, You've tried everything and nothing works. Healthy relationships require for both partners to put some effort into them. If you are the only one just making stuff to keep the relationship afloat, that's a very bad sign. If you've tried everything, including therapy, and still nothing is changing, you need to have a thought. Should I call it quits right now? In my case, we tried everything. And let me tell you, it was a very toxic relationship. We were not good for each other. Simply put, I just disappeared. I lost myself. And he tried to take care of me all the time. It was not good for him. It was not good for me. We have to prioritize our well-being. And it's okay. Not all relationships should last until death, does us part. Number 5, you're not in love. You're attached. Attachment is really, really bad because you think you cannot survive without the other person. It could happen either because you think in those terms, or maybe your partner made you think in those terms. Whatever the case, it's a false idea. You are stronger than you think, and there are many solutions out there. Even if they are difficult, you are stronger than you think. Always ask for help. You're not alone. Don't stay too long into a relationship. Seriously. For me, it's been 13 years in total being with my ex. I lost myself. I wasn't growing anymore. I was constantly unhappy. I tried everything, and I seriously think it was attachment and not love anymore. So when finally we call it quits, I was relieved. Don't get me wrong, I cried a lot. But then I found a new life. And now you must think, okay, what if you are older? It's easier to think that for young people, calling it quits is easier than for older people because of society, but you shouldn't think in those terms. You can have a new life every decade. Listen, from when you were a baby to when you were 10 years old, your life changed massively. So it did from 10 to your 20s, and from your 20s to your 30s, and so on. You can reinvent yourself at any age. Not because of your age, you have to think that your life is over and you have to stick into a situation or a relationship that has turned out to be a toxic one. Research your options, talk to your family, talk to your friends. If you need a therapist, talk to your therapist. And if you need to call it quits, call it quits. It's okay. You can start all over again. You can thrive way better and knowing more than before. Remember, you either win or you learn. I can tell you, I've learned a lot from my failed relationship with my ex. I actually treasure it because of the amount of knowledge that I gained with it. I am way more resilient. I surprised myself being super strong, really. I was like, wow. And I am very proud of myself. It's been a journey. You'll cry if you call it quits, obviously. You will cry. And you will get angry. But at the end of the road, you will have a new life. So, how can you thrive after you call it quits? What if you were married for 13 years? You need to celebrate it. Let me share with you how I celebrated my divorce. A healthy relationship adds to your life. It doesn't take anything away. A healthy relationship supports. It doesn't hinder. A healthy relationship fulfills you no matter what. It doesn't put you down all the time. Healthy relationship is based on love and understanding, not attachment. Remember, it's okay to call it quits.